Yo, what's going on, guys? It is your boy Vanny back here with another video, and today we are going to be going over the Western Conference predictions. We're going to go top 8 teams and the 2 play-in teams, which are the 9 and 10th seed. If you guys haven't seen already, we did the Eastern Conference predictions on the last video. Be sure to check that out. If you guys are coming from social media, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, any of those, I appreciate you guys stopping in. And if you guys haven't followed me on social media yet, it's literally Vanny Creates, no space, one word, under all social media platforms, including Twitch. I do stream over on Twitch sometimes, about 3 or 4 times a week. I stream a lot of Call of Duty, FIFA, and then I'll play NBA here and there. But like I said in the last video, sometimes 2K ain't it, you know what I'm saying? It's not the greatest game in the world, even though basketball is my favorite sport. Now, before we actually start this video, I would like to say that I truly believe, if anybody paid attention to the Western Conference Finals last year, it was really, really close. There was about 3 teams with 44 wins. I think the Nuggets had 46, so it was very, very close. So if you see teams dropping in this video, it's not because I think they're a lot worse than they were last year or anything. I just think it's going to be more of the same. The Western Conference is very, very competitive, and even at the bottom, I think 7 through or 8 through 10, maybe even 7 through 10 could be very close as well. So just keep that in mind when you're watching this video, but let's get right into it. Alright, so let's get started with number 10. We're going to go New Orleans Pelicans. And trust me, guys, I really, really wanted to put the Grizzlies here. I wanted to put the Spurs here. But like I said at the beginning, the West is going to be very, very, very close. And the Pelicans have done a lot to improve their team. They went out and got Steven Adams. They lost Drew Holiday, but they get Eric Bledsoe. Zion's going to be healthy this year. Hopefully he stays healthy. But I just think this team is going to be a lot better than they were last year. Lonzo's going to take that extra step, or that next step, hopefully. So that's why I have him at number 10. Like I said, I wanted to put the Grizzlies here. I really did. And I wanted to put the Spurs here because, I mean, you can't count out Pop. And there's a chance that those guys do make it. But like I said, the West is just going to be very close. And I have the Pelicans at number 10. Alright, guys, so at number 9, we have the Golden State Warriors. Another team I wanted to put in the top 8. You know, we thought they were going to get Klay Thompson back this year, but unfortunately he got injured again. So hopefully he gets better. Steph Curry's back, but the thing that hurts this team, in my opinion, is the depth. They don't really have any depth. They have Kent Bazemore. They're talking about adding Jeremy Lin. But even then, they're not going to be able to afford to play Steph Curry 40 minutes in a game in a short season. It's just not going to work. So that's the problem I have with Golden State. I do think they're going to be a very good team. Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre. They have, like I said, Steph Curry, James Wiseman, Draymond Green. Even though I think he's a bit overrated. But anyways, they have a very good team, right? But it's just depth. They don't have the depth, in my opinion. So right now, I'm going to put them at 9. Like I said earlier, 7 through 10, 8 through 10. It's going to be very, very close. There's a chance they make the playoffs. There's a chance they even fall out, to be honest. Like, 11 might be really close with 10 and 9 as well. But I do think the Golden State Warriors do make it to number 9 with Steph Curry back. I think he's going to have a great season. Maybe an unbelievable season, you know. But again, they can't play him 40 minutes a game. It's just not realistic in a short season. So but we're gonna have them at number 9. Getting right into the playoff teams, we have number 8, which I think is gonna be the Utah Jazz. Now the Utah Jazz are a very good team. I don't know if they're a great team. They have the depth. We know what Donovan Mitchell's gonna do. We know what Rudy Gobert is gonna do. Michael Conley is a veteran in this league, and maybe he didn't have the greatest of seasons last year, but I expect a bounce back year from him. Maybe the shortened off season hurts him a little bit because he is a little on the older side when it comes to age, but again, he is a veteran in this league, and he's a very good player, so I expect him to have somewhat of a comeback and a better year this year. They get Derek Favors back from New Orleans. They signed him in free agency, and, you know, they have Bojan, Jordan Clarkson. They have people that are going to get the bucket, so they have the depth, but I don't see them as a great team, and that's why I put them at number 8. Alright, guys, so at number 7, we have the Phoenix Suns, and maybe I'm putting them a little too high. But personally, I think 7 is a perfect spot. And like I said, 7 through 10, 8 through 10, they're going to be very close. Even 11, it's going to be the Grizzlies or the Spurs, and that's going to be very, very close as well. But we're going to go with the Suns at 7, and here's why. They finally got the point guard that they needed. They finally got Chris Paul. We all saw what Chris Paul did in OKC last year. at the beginning of last year, nobody really thought OKC was going to make the playoffs. And not to say Chris Paul did it himself. Of course, he had Shai, he had Gallo, he had Steven Adams, but he carried that team to a playoff series. He carried them to the playoffs, and they finally get that point guard. They have Devin Booker. They added Jay Crowder. Ayton's gonna take that next step, and then also they have decent depth. They have Saric. They have Bridges. They have guys that can do it on the bench as well. It's decent. It's not the best depth in the world, but it's decent, and I think it's good enough to get them into the playoffs. All right, guys, so before we get into number 6, you guys have to remember, like I said before, the Western Conference last year was very, very, very close, and I expect it to be pretty much the same this year. So when I put this team at number 6, don't think I think 5, 4, 3 are much better than them or even better than them as a team. It's just where I think they're going to place. You have to remember last year, the Mavericks had 43 wins. And then the 3 teams ahead of them had 44, and then the Nuggets at the 3rd seed had 46. So it's going to be very close. But for the 6th seed, we're going to go the Dallas Mavericks. They lose Seth Curry, and they replace him with Josh Richardson, which is, I don't know. It's kind of a wash. I think Seth Curry's a little bit a better fit for that team, but it is what it is. Luka's going to take that next step. They have Kristaps. They have a very, very good team. They didn't really do much in the offseason, but like I said, very good team. I have them at number 6, but that doesn't mean they can't be 3, That doesn't mean they can't be 4. They are a very, very good team, which could land at one of those top spots, but I have them at number 6. All right, guys, so at number 5, we have the Denver Nuggets. Very, very good team. Jokic, Jamal Murray, another one of those players I think is going to take that next step. Michael Porter Jr., Paul Millsap, who is a very, very good veteran. But they do lose some wing play in the offseason, which I think hurts them a little bit. They lose Grant to the Pistons. They lose Craig. So I think that hurts them a little bit. They drafted R.J. Hampton, but he's one of those guys that I think is going to be good, but not for like a good couple of years. He's pretty young. So I think it hurts them a little bit that they lost some depth and wing play. But again, very good team. They could easily be the 3rd seed again. But we're going to go with 5 for now with the Denver Nuggets. All right, guys, so at number 4, we have the Houston Rockets. I think this team got better than they were last year. They add John Wall. They add DeMarcus Cousins, Christian Wood. James Harden's still there. I'm basing this off the fact that I think James Harden's not going to be traded. So if he does get traded, they can easily drop. But I'm going to have him at 4 for now because I think James Harden's going to stay. Like I said, I think their team is better than it was last year. John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, if they can stay healthy, I think this is a very, very good team. And they add Christian Wood, a center off the bench for him. So, well, Christian Wood actually might be starting over DeMarcus Cousins. I'm not really sure how this starting lineup's going to work. But like I said, they have good depth. PJ Tucker's there as well. Eric Gordon, the people that have been there for the past few years. But very good team. I have them at number 4. Alright, guys, so at number 3, we have the Portland Trailblazers, and maybe I'm a little bit biased here because I'm a Carmelo Anthony fan. That is my favorite player, if you guys know me, but that is not why I put him at number 3. I put him at number 3 because I think they had a really, really good offseason. They fixed the issues that they had last year, which was defense. They add Derrick Jones Jr., they add Robert Covington, they re-signed Rodney Hood, who didn't play in the bubble, and this year they're actually healthy. And they have great depth off the bench. Like, I think this is going to be a very, very good team. Carmelo coming off the bench is going to, give him 10 to 20 points every game. Gary Trent Jr., Harry Giles has looked very, very good in the preseason. Enes Kanter is going to come off the bench. So they're very, very deep when it comes to their bench depth. And I just think they're going to be, it's Dame, CJ. You guys can't stop those guys. And then they add Robert Covington, Derrick Jones. They add defense, which they needed tremendously. So that's why I have them at number 3. And again, 3 through 6, they could end up the 6th seed. You never really know, but I think with their offseason moves, I'm going to put them at number 3, all right? I'm going to put them at number 3. I think they had a great offseason, one of the better offseasons for, any team in the NBA, so that's why I have them at number 3. All right, guys, and at the 2 seed, we have the Los Angeles Lakers, and before you look at me all crazy and call me a hater, just hear me out, okay? They are my favorite to come out the West, but I have them at 2 for the regular season, and for one reason only, and I think it's because they're going to go the resting route. Look, they have a shorter offseason, a condensed season in general. There's going to be a lot of back-to-backs, 4 games in 5 days. They just got done playing, 2 months ago? like they're going to go the resting route, in my opinion. They're going to rest their players, and that's why I have them at 2. The team does get better. They had Dennis Schroeder, Marcus Gasol, Montrezl Harrell, Wesley Matthews. Sure, they lose Rondo and Dwight Howard, but again, the team got better. They have LeBron. They have AD. This is a very, very good team. Again, they're my favorite to come out the West, but because of resting reasons and the shorter offseason, the shorter season in general, I have them at number 2, but they are my favorite. All right, guys, and at number 1, we have the Los Angeles Clippers. Last year was a letdown for them. They lose a series to the Nuggets that they shouldn't have lost. They get Kawhi back. Paul George obviously just signed his contract. They lose Montrezl Harrell, which is going to hurt a little bit, but they do add Serge Ibaka, Luke Kennard, Nicholas Batum. So they add some players. And again, I don't think all that locker room stuff that happened last year is going to be the same this year. So that's why I'm at number 1. I don't necessarily think they're better than the Lakers. I think they can compete with the Lakers, but I don't think they're better than the Lakers. But I think they're going to be number 1 in the regular season. And again, it doesn't really matter. Like I said before, like LeBron doesn't really care about seeding in the playoffs. And even if the Clippers are number 1, they're staying in LA anyways, right? So it doesn't really matter. I have the Clippers at number 1. I think they are the better regular season team this year. And again, the locker room headache stuff that happened last year, I don't think it's going to repeat itself this year. They have a very, very good team, very deep team. So that is why I have them at number 1. Alright, guys, so that's going to do it for the video. I do appreciate you guys taking the time today to come watch. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It really does help out. If you guys haven't followed me on social media, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, it's all Vanny Creates, one word. Same thing for every social media platform. But again, I do appreciate you guys taking the time here today to come kick it with me and watch the video. I will be back in the next one. Talk to you guys soon. I'm out. Peace.